Hello, it's Carrie Ann from Sisters in Motion in San Francisco, and I wanted to invite you into our studio space. So, a few things about here. I'm just gonna, if I flip it around, it'll turn the camera off, I think. I'm just not super technologically savvy, you guys. So this is our studio space. You may notice it's actually way brighter in here than it usually is. So when we take class in here, it looks more like this. See. Yeah, so when you take class in here, we create this dark, yummy, sexy, red lit space with no mirrors. And all of that is totally intentional. And the reason why we do it is because we want this movement to really be about what it feels like in your body as a place to play and explore and let emotions move and connect to moving your body in a way that feels sensual and sexy, but also private. We understand that this can feel vulnerable or a little even intimidating sometimes, and so we try to make it as comfortable in here as possible. So when we have this like yummy red light and candlelight, what it does is it helps, kind of distract the mind, because there's not a whole lot to see. So it brings you back into what the movement feels like in your body. And then again, same with no mirrors. Oftentimes when you get women in front of mirrors, or anyone for that matter, in front of mirrors, you're more likely to pop into like the critical brain. Looking in a mirror, we're more likely to be like, oh, I don't like that, what's happening there, what are those dimples, like all that stuff. And even if when you look in the mirror, you're like, dang, I look good, like hopefully that's what happens, but if it's not, and even if it is, that's still popping you into your critical mind, the criticism, whether it's, positive or negative. It pops you into a thinking about what you look like rather than into the being and the pleasure of what you're feeling in your body. So it just takes you right back out of your body and into your mind. So those are a couple things that make our studio very different from other studios. A lot of other studios I've been to have they're big, beautiful studios, but they've got like a ton of windows and bright lights and mirrors. And for us, we just want to create a space that just brings you into a connection with your sensuality in a way that feels really safe and supportive, and maybe a little more private. So if you do not live in the Bay Area and you are not lucky enough to come play with us in our studio, I have some suggestions for you for virtual classes. So to take virtual class, we highly, highly, highly suggest that you set up, something yummy and sensual and delicious. That's a space that's really just for you when you practice. I have hair in my face. And so when I was taking virtual classes and teaching virtual classes during the pandemic, the room I was in is this tiny, tiny guest bedroom. It's like 9 feet by 9 feet, I think, and then has furniture in that. It's tiny. But I just put down, not a yoga mat, but I put down, here, I'm gonna go into my office and show you what I use, because it might inspire you to find something delicious as well. Whoa, it's bright in here. So I used like these fuzzy blankets because it's sensual and yummy. So I would put that down on the floor. I replaced a couple of lamps in my room with red lights. I would do candles, like scented candles, and that's one of the nice things about being in your own space is that you can actually be in charge of what scents you have in there. You can do incense, but really creating a space that feels like a sacred space for you to practice. So those are my tips. Putting something delicious down on the floor that's fuzzy, or it could just be a yoga mat, but that's about the size you need. And then some red lights or candles, anything that makes it feel like you're creating a romantic atmosphere for you and you to get reacquainted. So those are my tips. I hope they help. I hope to see you either in the studio, in the space here. Don't look at my door. Like right here. Or in that virtual space, and that you create a beautiful place for which you can practice. Let us know if you have any other questions about how to take class. You can find us online at sistersinmotionsf.com. You can put any questions down below, and we hope to dance with you soon. Bye.